Hello?
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 Good afternoon. Can I speak to Mr. please?
Speaking.
Hi sir, my name's calling from... Are you okay this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Am I okay to call you?
Well, I suppose.
I'm sorry sir. All it is this call is just in regards to a car accident you had.
All right.
2012.
All right, yeah.
My job today, sir, at the time of the accident, it's coming on our database that you wasn't at fault. Is that correct, sir?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it wasn't your fault the accident occurred, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
It also mentions, sir, that you wasn't injured at the time of the accident. Is that correct?
Sorry, what do you say?
It's also coming up in our system, sir, that you wasn't injured.
Oh, I wasn't injured. No, that's right, yeah.
That's perfectly fine, sir. So you can probably understand why we're phoning you back a year and a half later from your accident.
No, I can't really.
I'm going to explain to you now, sir, in the next few minutes. All it is, sir, at the time of your accident, obviously you was in your vehicle.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Crashed into you was in their vehicle. The argument states that obviously two people that are in the car, moving vehicle, at the time of the collision, it could be 1,000 miles an hour, it could be 1 mile an hour.
Well, I hope it's not 1,000 miles an hour, because that would have been illegal.
No, but I completely understand where you're coming from, Mr. But if you like, what I'm saying is, the argument nowadays is that people have come up with, you're in a vehicle that's moving, like I said, if it's 1,000 miles an hour or 1 mile an hour, it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. If that car has an impact of another car,
Yeah.
what is to say that you're not going to be suffering for the rest of your, not suffering necessarily, but come across any ache, pain or discomfort in the next 3 years of your life caused from that accident?
What, just caused by that accident 3 years later?
Yeah, honestly sir, from the 2012, within 3 years from that day,
Right.
this is why we're phoning you back. What's to say that that accident hasn't caused any ache, pain or discomfort? So if you can just think back in the last year and a half, 2 years, have you suffered, like, have you woke up in the morning with any form of stiff arm or stiff neck? Or not even a stiff neck, anything with a tingle, you know when you lie in your arm, sir, when you go to sleep?
Well, so woken up in the morning with anything stiff?
You know what I mean, sir? Anything, not necessarily waking up in the morning, you could have been going to the gym, sir, your routine wasn't the same.
All right.
You could have been carrying some shopping bags and they were necessarily a bit heavier than you thought it might have been.
All right.
All it is, sir, there's no one here to judge you on the basis of you may have had an ache, pain or discomfort, because at the time of the crash, there's no one to prove that, to say that you haven't.
So there's no one to prove I haven't, yeah? Yeah.
There is an entitlement on this side of the phone between £1,500 and £4,500.
All right.
On the basis of, obviously, I'm speaking to you today.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, sir, the procedure I can go through is, I've got 2/3 of your details on the basis I'm in front of me on my database, and that's obviously your name, address, your registration, your policy number, sir, obviously who you was insured with, all the main details, your accident date. The only thing I need from you, Mr. is just a case of giving me your date of birth and another quick question of the circumstances of what happened in one sentence. Are you okay to just fall through with this, sir? If there's any confusion, please ask me any questions.
Well, I suppose my question is, well, I haven't had any aches and pains or anything, but can I still claim, even though I'm not entitled?
Yeah, because what I'm saying is, Mr. You did mention that you didn't have any aches or pains. If you do go through this procedure and you do go to see, obviously someone comes to see you for medical, they're part of our firm, and I do need to mention the solicitors we work with are the top 5 best in the UK.
Right. Who's that then?
The
What's the solicitor's practice name?
Right, I know I've just said it's the best top 5. If you bear me 1 second, I do have a manager floating around in the call centre next to me. Would you like to find out for you, or...?
Yeah, well, I'm just interested to know. So you're saying that even though I didn't have any aches or pains or any trouble whatsoever, I can still claim?
Well, in respect of, let's say if you did fall through with this conversation, sir,
yeah,
and you did have to go and see someone about a medical,
yeah,
the person at the medical centre, sir,
yeah,
works for our team.
Oh, he works for you?
That room, sir.
Yeah.
Advice works for our company, sir.
Right.
So all it is, when you walk into that room to meet our medical physician,
Yeah.
they're going to make you going to tell them what is wrong with you. They're
All right.
going to go in the room and they're not going to start asking you questions.
They're not going to ask me yes. So, but if I walk into the room and say to them, I haven't had any aches and pains, they're going to look at me a bit funny, aren't they?
Well, at the end of the day, sir, you are going to mention that, fair enough, if you do go into the room and say, yeah, I haven't suffered from aches and pains, it would, all this conversation, all the time and effort we would be putting into it would be a waste of time.
Oh, would it?
Like I said, sir, at the end of the day, if you walk into that room,
Yeah.
there is a medical member of our team there.
A medical member, yeah.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
just going to basically sit there and they're going to basically tell you what is wrong with you. If that's understood. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mr.
What?
They're going to be judging you. They're just going to turn around and they're going to explain to you what is wrong. They're going to tell you, oh, so you have had an ache or pain in this area of your body. And it's up to you, sir, if you want to agree or not.
Oh, I see.
Like I said, on the basis,
Right.
it's been New Year's Eve, it's just been New Year's, it has been Christmas,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, if anyone's going to quite frankly turn down some money they are entitled to due to the fact they pay high insurance premiums through the year, and there is the off chance they could get some of that back, or even the majority of that back, over £1,000 to up to £4,500, on the basis of 2 10-minute phone calls, and this is one of the 10-minute phone calls, and obviously just to see one of our medical team that won't ask you any questions, who will tell you what is your problem, and for you to sit at home and not worry about anything, sir, and within 6 to 16 weeks you will receive a cheque through your door.
But
Understand where I'm coming from, this?
I understand where you're coming from, yeah.
So it's entirely up to you if you want to fall through with this, but like I said, it is your entitlement and there's no one there to judge you, and like I said, it is money that no one can really afford out. If someone told me today and obviously mentioned the exact same situation, to be honest with you, sir, I haven't lied to you once. I've been as straight as possible as I can be with you, Mr.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. So what's the firm of solicitors you work with?
Right, sir, stay on the phone for 3.5 seconds. I'll tell you one of our solicitors we work with, yeah? You can obviously phone them up just to confirm if that's okay.
Yeah.
Just stay on the line for 5 seconds, sir.
Yeah. Right.
Sir, it's one of the 5.
Who's that, sorry?
And they've been going for over 60 years, sir.
Oh, yeah. How's that spelt? Oh, right, I see.
If you type it in on Google, sir, it should come up at the top.
Oh, right. Well, I'll have a look when I'm in front of the computer next.
They have been around for 60 years.
Have they? So, have they always done this sort of stuff with, people who haven't had any injuries, claiming for stuff?
Obviously, sir, I know it sounds sad, but obviously the first the reason why insurance and all this has come about is back in 1890. There was a lady who got run over in London. You know when vehicles were made?
Yeah.
And from that day of that woman getting run over by that vehicle, that's when everyone turned around to each other and said they need to make some form of insurance policy. And from that day, obviously, this is when insurance has come about. And obviously even claims back then, sir, and this is over 100 years ago. But the solicitors we use, they've been going over 60 years, and they range from, obviously, they do specialise in what we are doing today, but obviously the firm is that big and that successful, they specialise in a lot of range of things, obviously, from court situations, from everything else, sir. But like I said, we're specialising today in just, obviously, our case.
I see, right.
So, like I said, Mr. Obviously, you can ask me any form of questions if you're not too sure, and if you feel a bit unsure about it, you can ask me, sir. But like I said, I am sat here, I am happy to help you, and I do have a form in front of me, sir, which I am willing to fill in just on the basis that you're just happy with the services I'm trying to provide you with, sir.
I see.
And at the end of the day, sir, in all due respect, what have you got to lose? At the end of the day...
Well, I've got to lose my liberty, really, because it would be sort of fraudulent for me to claim that I'd had injuries when I didn't.
Well, Mr. I have just spoken to you on the phone for the last 10 minutes, yeah? I have mentioned that we have the top 5 solicitors, and I have tried to be straight as possible here in respect to our medical teams and how our procedure works. At the end of the day, you're not lying, are you?
Well, I would be lying, because I'd be saying that I had injuries I didn't have.
Ah, well, Mr. Like I said, I try and be polite and obviously the best, put myself forward the best I can to you, sir. There is some money that you are entitled to, yeah? That you are legally, rightly entitled to.
But I'm not legally, rightly entitled to it, though, because I didn't have the injuries.
Right, Mr. Obviously, it's 2 o'clock now, I should have been gone home, and I am staying on the phone to yourself, just due to the basis I am trying to help you out, because it's your entitlement, sir.
Yeah, but I'm not entitled to it, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, sir, so what I'm saying is, if you don't think you're entitled to it, you shouldn't terminate the phone call. I've explained the best I can do for you, and I've explained the procedure, and it's the easiest thing you can possibly do. You know what I mean, sir? But like I said, entirely up to you, sir, but like
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I could do with the money because you know, I want to teach. I want to. You know, it's always been my dream to get into the Guinness Book of Records for teaching the biggest flock of sheep to scuba dive. But you know, what you're suggesting to me just seems a bit weird, really. That I could claim for having injuries that I didn't have.
Ordinary. So what I'm saying is, I've told you that we work with the best solicitors in the UK, which you probably typed in on Google. In fact, sir.
No, I haven't, because I'm not in front of the computer.
No, well that's perfectly fine, but like I said, it's my job to obviously tell you your entitlement, sir. I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but like I said, you can ask me any question you would like, which you think you are unsure about.
So,
unsure about anything, sir, you can happily ask me any question you'd like to.
Right, what's the capital of Norway? I'm not sure about that.
What?
Well, you said I could ask any questions I don't know the answer to.
What, are you a fucking comedian or something? What do you mean, what's the capital of Norway? I'm asking you if you wanted to claim because it's your job, sir, your entitlement. Why would you... Are you just trying to be a comedian, or what's the crack here?
Well, you said I could ask any question I wasn't sure about.
You can ask any question, but the capital of Norway isn't a question I could possibly answer, sir. I know
oh dear.
You could ask me any question, but the capital of Norway is a bit out of our jurisdiction now. I'm asking about your incident, sir, you had over a year ago.
Oh, right. Well, that's a bit disappointing, really.
So, it's entirely up to you, sir. I have been on the phone to you for the last 12 minutes. I have explained everything in full detail about what we are, what we do, and what your entitlement is, sir.
Yeah, but as I said to you, I'm not entitled to it.
Yeah. Sir, just to the answer of your question, it is Oslo, sir, the capital of Norway. I did just find out for you, sir, especially just for you. Is that the answer to your question, sir?
That's an answer to that question, yeah.
Excellent. Have you got any more questions you'd like to throw at me, sir?
Well, you're not really, no.
Oh, so you've got no more questions, sir?
I haven't got, no, I don't think I got any questions, you know.
Just to get back on subject, obviously you found out the capital of Norway. Would you like to follow through with this issue, obviously with this entitlement, sir?
Well, it's not an entitlement. It's not an entitlement, because I haven't got any injuries.
What I'm saying is, I have been on the phone to you for the last 13 minutes, sir, and I have explained everything in detail. Would you like to follow through with your entitlement, sir?
It's not an entitlement.
Sir, would you like to follow through with your entitlement, yes or no, sir?
It is not an entitlement.
Right. Hello?
Hello?
Mr. I just feel like this conversation is getting nowhere. So I am on the verge of ending or terminating this phone call, sir, if you didn't want to take the entitlement from us.
All right, yeah.
So are you happy that I terminate this phone call, Mr.
Well, it does no skin off my nose. What you do, really?
Well, sir, it is no skin off my nose either, but at the end of the day, you're missing out on an entitlement. You have tried having a laugh with me. I know you actually missed the capital of Norway, missed that and the other, but at the end of the day, I'm still on the phone to you at 6 minutes past 2 when I finish at 2 o'clock, on the basis of I'm trying to help you because it's your entitlement, Mr. So I'm terminating this phone call, Mr. or following through with the entitlement.
Well, that's up to you, really.
Well, no, you don't understand how nice and polite I'm being towards yourself. A lot of people now would have put the phone down 10 minutes ago. say, Mr. We've had a laugh now, haven't we? Obviously, you've asked me the capital of Norway, and I've told you the answer. And obviously, I've explained everything to you in full. I am still sat here 7 minutes past 2 when I finish at 2 o'clock, sir, but I'm doing this on your behalf, because obviously it's your entitlement. So do you believe, sir, you have an entitlement?
It's not an entitlement though, is it? Because I told you I haven't had any aches or pains. And finally he's gone. Gosh.